And welcome back to the Vic State Cricket Podcast. Now, I'm not really sure which way to look here because I've got both the captain and the vice captain of the Victorian women's team with us. We've got Nick Fulton, the vice captain, and the captain, Soph Molyneux, who has been over in the UK playing in the hundreds. Soph, officially welcome to the Vic State Cricket Podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, the first question I've got for you is, how's the body? Because it's been a tough sort of 12 months for you. You've just come back from England. It's almost like getting ready for this summer of cricket. How are you all going?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Obviously I had that period of time off trying to get my body right and everything. But, it was great to get back into it and play some cricket out in the UK. And the 100 was a great comp to be able to start off with. It was pretty intense. So it was a good little warm-up to our Australian summer, which I'm just super pumped to be back playing in.
Absolutely. Was it a tough last 12 months? Obviously, an Australian player missing out at such an important time for Australian cricket with World Cups and Com Games. Back playing cricket again, have you got a different perspective of cricket? You got something to prove? What's going through your mind more than how your body is at the moment?
Obviously missed a lot of sort of key events and tournaments and everything and watched a lot of that from the sidelines. But I suppose what does it do? It probably just makes you a little bit hungrier to get yourself right and stay out in the park more than anything. And I feel like there is nothing to prove. It's just more to go out there and just have a bit of fun and enjoy while you're out there doing it because that's how the sport rolls. You get injured and you have periods of time like that where you have to stop, and it probably makes you appreciate those times when you don't even think about your body and you're just playing cricket. So to be able to get back to a place like that was the main goal, and sort of there now. So it's just time to go out there and do it with a smile on my face with a group of girls that are super pumped and ready to play a bit of cricket.
All systems go. I mentioned I've got someone else here, Nick Fulton, who was the captain of Victoria last year. She's still part of the leadership group and she started the pre-season extremely strongly. Nick, thank you for being part of it all.
Thanks for having me.
What's it like now you're not captain?
It's an interesting thing. I'm Soph's vice captain, which is really cool. To be able to Meg was captain last year, and then obviously with her Australian commitments, I stepped in and captained the girls for that period of time. Yeah, I learnt so much during that period, and was really grateful to be able to do that. And while Soph's back, I love just standing behind her and learning off her. And if she's not here for reasons with other commitments, then I'm happy to step in and take the lead from there. But we've done a power of work throughout the pre-season together, and Soph's been amazing throughout this process.
It's almost an embarrassment of riches to have two leaders in the team. There's probably more really when you look at the depth of Victorian cricket. What did you learn most about the game as captain? Because it's a whole different set of circumstances when you're leading out on the field. What did you learn that perhaps you didn't know about the game?
Lots to start off with. You got to look at it through a different lens, I guess, when you're captain, and you kind of have to step out of your own shoes. And being a wicketkeeper and a batter, I had to step into the bowler's shoes a whole lot more. You do that a little bit as a batter, but I guess usually keeping, I'm literally just thinking about setting up and watching the ball. And yes, I'm thinking about the delivery that the bowler's going to bowl, but I guess had to step into a bowler's shoes and sort of think the way that they would and the fields that they'd like. So I think that was probably a little bit of a change that I hadn't thought about a lot in the past. That was probably the main thing. And then just literally learning the game and thinking about it probably not so much on a surface level and just thinking about it a little bit deeper.
Now you've got Soph sitting right opposite you here. So I hope this isn't too embarrassing to ask, but what's Soph like as a leader?
You can't really put it into words, to be honest. She's an incredible leader. She'll hate me. I can see her shake. She's looking at me shaking her head. She's going to hate every moment of this. Soph's incredible, has such an amazing cricket brain, but not only a cricket brain, a leader off the field. She does everything. It sounds a little bit cliche, but she does everything by the book. She trains so hard and she looks at her game so deeply, and I love watching Soph train and play, but the way that she approaches things and talks to players off the field and that kind of stuff. She's a complete captain and someone that I'm so grateful to kind of stand behind and watch and be able to learn off and also play alongside.
All right, so if you can now go back the other way, what have you seen over the last 12 months from Nick that's seen her not just become a better cricketer but a better leader and now have the confidence that you will have as her vice captain?
Yeah, thanks, Fulty. I feel like this is a bit beautiful here.
Special, isn't it?
But look, I've known Fultzy for a long, long time, and both being Gippsland girls and growing up together, I think, yeah, I'm just like super proud of the journey she's been on over the last little bit, and I think she sort of got thrown into that role. Is still super young in terms of like experience and everything. She's made some big scores for Victoria and stuff like that. So she's super capable on the field. But then, sort of thrown into it last year. She just exceeded every expectation, and her willingness to learn and about the game itself, I think, is a true testament to her and her ability to be able to connect with everyone in the team on different levels off the field as well. I think that's probably the more important stuff, and she's done a load of work with the girls over these last 3 or 4 months just to sort of create a real sort of purpose and direction with the group. And it's the little things like that. Not everyone has the ability to be able to do that and connect with everyone, but Fultzy definitely does, and definitely is a bit of a rock to this team.
Now, Sophie, you're in this unique situation, really, where you've got these 4 games at the start of the season before you split off and go your separate ways with the WBBL. What are you trying to get out of these games to sort of set up your season, I guess?
Yeah, hopefully we just want to keep getting better as a group. Obviously, over the last little bit, we haven't been as successful as what we'd previously been, and it was probably just a bit different. And it was really great. We were able to sit down and stop and as a playing group a little bit and actually just work out what we really want and where we want to take it together. And I think everyone was on the same page. We're really hungry to keep getting better, to keep learning. There's no better way of going out there and playing 4 rounds of WNCL together before Big Bash. And in an ideal world, it'd be nice to get away with 4 wins and sit pretty at the top of the ladder before Big Bash. But it's not how cricket always goes as well. But I think we're really, really clear on what we want in our direction and how we want to play brand cricket, which is for a young team. I think that's probably one of the more important things to nail down. So, you couldn't ask for any more of the girls and their efforts over the last 3 or 4 months. They've been incredible, and I think have really matured as a group really quickly. So I'm just pumped to see them play a bit of cricket now.
Now, Nick, you did very well up at Coffs Harbour yourself personally. What do you expect from the season? Not from yourself, but from the team. What's possible in 22-23?
So I've hit the nail on the head there. Obviously those first 4 games, we want to go out and be as competitive as we can and hopefully come away with 4 wins. Like Soph said, we're so clear on the direction that we want to go. And if you ask any sort of cricket team, what's the thing that you want, and ultimately it's to win. And that's no different for us, our group going forward. We want to take away the WNCL final, and we don't really want to shy away from that because it's something that we want to be able to speak about and talk about because that is our goal. Hope that's obviously the big outcome at the very end is we'd like to win the WNCL. But we've got some really good processes in place throughout that we've done in the pre-season and going forward, things that we really want to measure ourselves off, and we feel really clear on what individuals need to do, but both individual and as a collective, and how we're going to be able to do that rather than just saying that that's what we're going to do. I think we've got some really clear things in place to hopefully get us there.
All right, I'm going to get you to each ask a question of each other in a minute before we wrap it up. But for both of you, can you nominate a player that you think will really rise during the course of this year? And that includes the WBBL because we've obviously got the Stars and the Renegades, but just across the season, that perhaps someone we might not know a lot about at the moment that might rise, or someone that you think can go the very next level and potentially be in the green and gold at some point this summer. I'll go with you first. You're the captain.
There's a couple that come to mind. I think the one that sticks out, she's sort of been around for a little bit now, but Tessie Flintoff. She come in day 1 of off season. This is off season, not even pre-season. Yeah. And Georgia and I are in there doing rehab and with John our S&C, and Tessie walks in and we're like, Tessie, what are you doing, mate? Like, go to Bali or something. And she goes, no, I just want to get big. And she has put in an enormous amount of work just to get her body to a spot where it's in now, where she's full of confidence, she's running in hard, she's a quick bowler, she's so athletic, has been forever, but now she's just really strong. And I think now that is the easy part for her, and that's just to go out there and play a bit of cricket, which she's really natural at too. So, Tessie's one of many that I'm really looking forward to seeing her play cricket.
All right. What do you reckon, Nick?
Yeah, great question. A fair few in our team. Someone we've probably seen feature in the green and gold before, but I think Annabelle Sutherland.
Yep.
Yeah, she's so hungry, and I guess we'll have some real good opportunity in the top order for the Vics. So hopefully, yeah, she'll go really well, and then can hopefully get sort of a pretty consistent place in the green and gold. And a younger player who's still under 19s, Reese McKenna. She goes by the Duke. I think she'll be really good this pre-season. You know, she's still at school, so she's had a little bit of an interesting pre-season with juggling school and training and whatnot. But I think, yeah, once she gets fit and she gets ready, I think she'll be great. She runs in and, really wants to bowl the ball quite hard and is a really handy batter in the middle and lower order as well.
All right. Before we let you go, so if you've got a question for your vice captain.
Question.
Can be on anything.
Oh,
Put it
dear.
under the pump. I'm putting you under the pump.
Yeah.
Probably quite happy to come up with a
Yeah,
question.
it is. I think that's harder. How long do you want to bat today for? We're just going to run the
I had an absolute stinker yesterday in the nets. I had to retrieve it back to underarm, so I'm hopefully going to have a good hit out today. I hope it doesn't end like it did yesterday.
heaps of time. Games on Friday. Heaps of time.
All right. So you got to. That's It wasn't
okay.
a great question.
No.
So
Shit.
That was really bad.
What have I got for you? Oh goodness, this is really hard.
Well, I'll
got
ask,
one
I'll
for
ask
you.
a
Okay.
question. You might be able to have a follow-up question.
Great.
from it. Playing in the 100, what was it like? Because it seems, I mean, we're on the other side of the world, but you see great crowds, particularly for women's cricket, crowds you may have never seen before. What was that whole experience like?
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. And just to go over there, I felt pretty lucky to be able to go over there and play in a comp like that and being an international alongside Soph Devine and Elise Perry.
bad list.
It wasn't a bad list. We unfortunately missed finals, but anyway, we could move on from that. But the crowds and playing alongside the men, and it was just a super comp in the format. I thought T20 was quick, but this is quicker. It was actually really enjoyable to play and to learn, and took a lot away from it.
Speaking of the format, Soph, did you change anything in your game? Like, obviously with the 5 balls or not knowing at the start of the over whether you're going to bowl 5 balls or 10, did you change sort of how you would set it up, or did anything in your game?
I think not too much changes from a playing perspective. Captain's perspective is a bit spicy because then you do the back-to-back 5s and stuff like that, where there's a bit more tactics to it. But I think even just as a bowler, a shorter set, so 5 balls instead of 6, you sort of start closing out after 2 or 3, which is actually pretty handy to have a mindset like that too in a shorter format cricket. But I don't think a whole heap changes as a player, but I think as a captain, like Soph Devine come over and put a message in the WhatsApp group at the start of the season saying, guys, I haven't not watched or played a game of this. Let me know what the rules are first, and we'll try and come up with some tactics. So it's just a really new sort of concept that I think everyone's trying to find what works tactically and everything.
Interesting. All right, thank you for coming in, both of you. It's great to have both the vice captain and the captain of the Victorian team here, and hopefully we'll have you part of this program throughout the course of the summer. Sophie, you've got to work on your questions.
I do. I've got a couple, but probably not for, for a podcast.
Do you know what my other question was?
Oh, go on. Off you go.
He's like, are you going to change your bling? Your
bling?
earring? I've noticed you got new earrings
got a
in.
bit of bling.
Yeah,
Got a bit of bling.
they're new, aren't they?
Yeah, they're from the UK. I have a bit of,
they're very pretty.
Bit of pound
Do you think
left
you're going to
over.
play in those
I
ones?
think I might play in something a little bit bigger.
You reckon?
Yeah, maybe a bit louder. I'm not too sure yet.
Okay, interesting.
Especially earrings for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
earring pod.
for a radio podcast.
Exactly. All right, good luck. Obviously, it starts big with 4 matches straight away before you split off. Hopefully you get those 4 wins you spoke about.
Thanks so much for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Nick Feltham and also Soph Molyneux. After this, we're going to get in some Victorian royalty. David Hussey will be on the program.